First of all, as ever, at this time on a Monday, time to catch up with our resident film reviewer, James Luxford, critic for the Radio Times, Metro newspaper, Stratford-upon-Avon based movie reviewer, and on a Monday he marks our card and picks us 3 must-watch movies for the week on our TV screens ahead. Very good morning, James. How are you, sir?
I'm fine, thanks. How are you?
Yeah, mate, great, actually. Sunny, gorgeous. I bet Stratford's looking resplendent, isn't it, this morning in this?
It's looking absolutely lovely. There's a little bit more freedom out there with the shops open if you're doing it responsibly. It's getting a little bit more towards normal, I think.
Okay, good stuff. So, in the mix for us this morning, an adaptation of a Jane Austen classic, a film about one of America's most notorious families. But first of all, I mean, we're talking about Codemasters and Leamington and computer games with Richard about 10 minutes ago. The first movie you picked here, all about the World War II code breaker.
Absolutely, the original Codemaster, the Imitation Game, Thursday, 6:45, film 4. Benedict Cumberbatch stars as Alan Turing, the genius behind the team that cracked the Enigma code during World War II, invented modern computing.
This war, we're not winning it. If you speak a word of what I'm about to show you, you will be executed for high treason.
It's beautiful. It's the greatest encryption device in history, and the Germans use it for all communications.
Everyone thinks Enigma is unbreakable.
Let me try, and we'll know for sure.
Mr. Turing, do you know how many died because of it? I don't. 3.
Controversial character, wasn't he, in life? What do you make of the movie, James?
I love this. I think Benedict Cumberbatch is probably at his best here. It's a story about Turing's genius, also the demons and stigma that haunted him throughout his life. Keira Knightley, also excellent as one of the fellow code breakers. I think this is a great British movie with sort of spearheaded by a really good performance that gives justice to a great figure that often was a little bit swept under the carpet, really, both because of confidential reasons and I think also the stigma that haunted him for the rest of his life.
And Mark Strong, I think I heard there as well, making a significant role in that as well. Imitation Game is on Film 4, Thursday night, 6:45. Your second pick, something that's available from today.
Yes, on DVD and digital from today. It's Emma. Anna Taylor-Joy plays Jane Austen's heroine, a young woman in Georgian era England who gets involved in the love lives of her friends and family.
Miss Woodhouse! You will never guess what has happened. Robert Martin has offered me his hand. Do you advise me?
Oh, no. The words must be your own. You must be the best judge of your own happiness.
I have now quite determined and really almost made up my mind to refuse Mr. Martin.
Shock horror. Any good, this, James?
I really enjoyed this. I thought it was very funny, comedy of errors, comedy of manners, if you like. Anna Taylor-Joy is terrific in the lead role, and it takes the period setting in a new direction with a witty script and a bit of a, I suppose, modern interpretation of these characters. I really enjoyed it.
Emma, available on DVD and download from today, as is your third and final pick.
The True History of the Kelly Gang on DVD and digital from today. 1917 star George Mackay plays Ned Kelly in a biopic of one of Australia's most notorious criminal gangs.
I have myself an indentured servant. Ned Kelly is his name. Shoot him. Make a name for yourself.
Who's to teach you? To kill men. Nothing comes free in this world, son. Be who you are meant to be.
And I'm guessing, again, having just seen little snippets of this, James, if you like the Peaky Blinders, it's that kind of vibe, isn't it, this thing?
Oh, very much. Sort of a stylized take on a period in history, and I enjoyed this. It's a different kind of biopic. As I say, very stylized, very entertaining. A great cast too. Russell Crowe, who you heard just there, playing Ned Kelly's mentor. There's also Nicholas Hoult, Charlie Hunnam. Really impressive drama that I think just missed the cutoff in cinemas as we went into lockdown, but it's well worth checking out.
And it's a good point you make there about the movies that have kind of just missed the cutoff and are now being sort of viewed as download releases rather than cinema. I was listening to a couple of interviews over the weekend. Sean Penn, one, and Ken Branagh, another, talking about David Copperfield. And I know it's something that you spoke about with us on the programme only last week. But they were talking more about the point at which we'll all feel a bit more comfortable with going to the movies. And already I noticed I got an email over the weekend. I've got a subscription to Cineworld saying, look, we've already made attempts to increase social distancing. There will come a point where cinemas will open again. The question will be how comfortable we'll feel about going back, won't we, to watch them?
I think so, yeah. We've got a 10th of July open date for Cineworld, Picture House, and a few other chains. The Film Distributors Association has made a bank of around 450 classics, things like Lawrence of Arabia, everything down to Back to the Future, and I believe Empire Strikes Back. They're available as a kind of a best of greatest hits of cinema to lure people in with old classics. I think they'll be doing everything they can. Cinema is a little bit more set up for social distancing than other venues. There's a bit more of a malleable approach to the way they do seating. But it will be interesting to see if people miss that experience. I hope they do.
James, appreciate it as ever. Back with us on Friday with his picks ahead of the weekend. But for now, James Luxford from Stratford-upon-Avon, and you can read his reviews in the Metro newspaper and also in the Radio Times as well.
CWR Breakfast
with Phil Upton.
Got a lane closed.